Alright everyone, so in this lesson I want to go over the profit and loss statement for Flex Posture, and then I want to talk a little bit about accounting and how you should be setting that up. So this is the P&L for July to November 2018, so that's only excluding December, but December sales were only about 50,000, and so the majority of sales were from in these 5 months, and I just haven't updated the profit and loss yet, but the margins remain the same pretty much, so it would just be a little bit more profit, like $10,000 more profit. But basically this is what the numbers look like. So the sales 1.03 million, so the cost of goods was about 30% of the total sales. Now the gross profit on that is about 69%, but this doesn't really mean much because we still have all the other costs to take out. So mainly Facebook ads was the biggest expense, on which I spent 415,000, and just to clarify, this is all in US dollars. And then Instagram ads, so Instagram ads I spent 38.59 thousand, Google ads 11.6 thousand, and then payment fees, these actually add up quite a bit, so 38,000. And then apps 1,600, Shopify plan 345, and then the VA team 5,000, for a total expense of 511,000, which leaves the net profit at 204,000, so 20%. 20% is usually what you're looking at when you scale to this level. You know, when you're scaling to 6 figures a month, it's hard to get better than 30% profit margins, and most people get 20 to 25, if not a lot lower. So that's pretty much what you can expect, and don't be too worried about these big numbers because this is all just from reinvesting profit. It all just goes through, you get paid and then it just goes back into the store. And so this is not, I didn't have to invest a lot of money. I did not have 415,000 to start this store. And, you really don't need to have that much. It's just reinvesting profits and being smart about cash flow and using credit cards. Now, I want to talk quickly about how you should be setting up your accounting, because once you do start scaling like this, you do need to have an accounting system in place, or you're going to have a hard time with, your government agencies. And so what I recommend to do when you're first starting out is I would recommend making a separate bank account. Now, if you don't have any experience and you don't know whether or not this is going to work for you, you don't have to incorporate a business or register an LLC right away. You can just be a sole proprietor. And so that's the same tax return as, personal income. But you still want to make a separate bank account and get a new credit card and only use those for your dropshipping business. And that is going to make things a lot easier for accounting. And then you can keep track of your own accounting using accounting software like QuickBooks or Xero. And so QuickBooks is a great one, and this is what I used when I was doing the accounting myself. And so this will automatically plug in, so you can sync it to your bank account or to your credit card, and then you can it'll automatically put in all the expenses, and then you can you can keep track of them and classify them. And then when you go to actually go and do your tax return, you'll be able to you'll have everything in one place, and it'll be very simple to do your tax return with QuickBooks. However, if you are scaling to these numbers, so once you start scaling to multiple thousands of dollars a day, I would 100% recommend hiring an accountant. Now, usually hiring an accountant is best done in person, so you should go to where you live and then find an accountant and explain your situation and explain that you need an accountant. Now what I did is I hired an accountant from Upwork. So I found a certified professional accountant, a CPA in Canada that was specialized in e-commerce stores on Upwork. And so now I've been working with her ever since, and we keep in touch. We call once in a while and we talk about the accounting, and she does all my taxes, so I don't have to worry about that. And that's another thing that's automated. So once you start scaling, you definitely want to hire an accountant. It's not that expensive, and it'll come, it's necessary. And you could even save the money on, you're spending for the accountant, but she could help you, or he could help you save on taxes, and you can make that money back. And it's also just the value of your time, right? You're not, your job is not to do accounting. Your job is to run the marketing, run the business. And so you should have someone take care of the accounting for you. So that's my advice for you. If you start scaling, make sure to hire an accountant as soon as possible, because if you don't, you're going to have to backtrack through all of the mess of, all of your expenses, all the sales, and it gets very difficult. I've been there myself with my first store. I didn't have a good system at all. I didn't have a separate bank account, and it was a big mess. So if you're not going to have an accountant, at least make sure that you have a separate bank account and then link it up to QuickBooks, and it'll make everything easy. So that's pretty much it for this really quick lesson. I just wanted to make sure that you guys know that it is important to do your accounting, and that you should definitely hire an accountant as soon as possible.